Well, Colby left me to go close the door to where the boys are at because Jennings is still a little rowdy, which is kind of surprising because
he's kind of getting ready for bed.
Yeah, he didn't take a nap today.
What's up, Rehab Life? I'm glad you're here early tonight. Boots and Bounty, how are you? We were trying to get on. We actually did a little bit good on time this tonight.
Yeah.
Little Mountain Life, how's it going?
I still haven't bathed Livy yet, so I'll have to bathe her at 9 tonight. That's going to be fun.
Gosh, I realized I need a haircut on this video.
I've been telling you. I was actually going to do it Sunday, and then we kind of got busy.
So Big Dave.
Nutty, and you never know what's going to go on here.
Hey, Miss Phyllis.
We've had an eventful past week.
Little Mountain Life, listening while planting micros. Man, that's awesome. We actually talked about doing some more microgreens ourselves. We're gonna probably hit those up this next week. We have all the stuff already. We love doing it the first few times, and then we just stop. I don't know why. So we need to start back because I enjoy them. On salads, I eat salads
almost daily.
Yeah,
almost.
Probably 50% of my diet is salad. Hey, Stacy, how are you?
Speaking of, our
Joy.
lettuce and everything looks really good outside.
Really
I have been trying to do better. I'm usually an afternoon waterer because I'm so busy in the mornings with when we get up, get everybody dressed, get everybody fed, get the kitchen cleaned up, do everybody's schoolwork. It's like already after lunch. But I have been trying to make myself go out between breakfast and cleaning up from breakfast or breakfast and schoolwork to go out and get everything watered in the morning because that's what they say you're supposed to do. So I've been trying hard to do that. Is anybody else morning waters or you just a whenever? It used to be.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get it on.
It used to be. It used to be very convenient for me to just do it afternoon, but I know you're supposed to water in the morning, so I really have been trying to do that.
That's awesome that Little Mountain Life is doing it for CSA. That's awesome, man.
That is really cool.
Hey, they're bragging on your shirt.
Thank you.
Hey, Miss Darlene, how are you? Mr. Larry, Miss Jennifer, how are you doing? Ivy Acres. So when is too early to ask if we are going to the HOA? For us, it's not a chance to say if we are or not. The biggest deal for us is a milker. So sometimes it just doesn't work out for us. So if it works out and we can find a milker, maybe so. If not, no big deal. We'll hit it up next time. So
Larry says he tries to water in the morning as well.
Yes. Hey, Miss Pam.
Stivers.
Hey, Miss Carolyn. Hey, Nani. Never enough time. How are you doing? What's up, Zach and Jim? Just country girl. Hey, listening while Bible journal. Hey, Bible journaling is a lot more important than the Mac. So
absolutely,
we give you full rights to watch it later. How about that? Barb's Country Home. How are you doing? So I'll try to thought what I was going with that. Miss Marie, how are you doing?
I had asked some of the people, do they water in the mornings or afternoons? We got some answers, and then we were talking about HOA, but it really does come down to the farm. Like when we left to go on our little beach getaway, it was just for a few days, and it's really easy to get somebody here to feed and water, but somebody that's not used to a larger animal, and especially that does not have any experience milking or the milk machine, like that's all a really big process. I mean, it really is actually simple, but it can be very overwhelming to somebody who's never done it before. And you're talking about leaving,
hey, Grammy Karen.
You're talking about leaving Allie's health in the hands of somebody else. So it's very nerve-wracking for them and for us because, we don't want to come back to her being sick or have mastitis or anything like that. So,
and HOA needs to move south. I mean, it is so hard for us too. So they need to have like an HOA South edition. So
like in central area,
like put it in like Kentucky or Missouri or something like that, Arkansas. So at Little Mountain Life, one cool thing is like you're down the road. So
we would love to. I mean,
hey, Miss Mariah.
It all works out. Like Aiden was begging the other day. He was like, "Oh, we had so much fun. I want to go back." And I was like, "Well, baby, we do too. But it's just if it works out or not for us." Pennsylvania.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, so for us, that's a big journey. But we will try. We would love
It was
to.
what? How many hours?
It was all together. It was like 17 or 18 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good pit. The crazy thing too is we go for more the camaraderie and the community feel for it. Because, and no offense to any of the speakers, because the speakers are great speakers. For us, though, a lot of the stuff we're already doing, or probably do a little bit more on the sustainable, regenerative farming and sustenance farm. So we like it to go hang out, and I wish that we could do that, but it's
we kind of learned that the first year. Yeah. Like, you know, some of the things we went to, and some of the time we just kind of talked to people. But a lot of, like we said, a lot of the stuff that a lot of people were talking about, we were kind of already doing anyway. So
Stiver said they were not planning on going either. So we'll see. I'm anxious to see if it's a good turnout this year. I hope it is. I really do for our movement. I'm just anxious to see how it kind of rolls with Virginia and some of the laws up there dealing with COVID and everything going on by the year.
But Little Mountain Life, that's like really close to them. Like, that's like in y'all's backyard almost.
Yeah. Grammy Karen said, meeting you all was the highlight of HOA year last year. Thank you so much. And I agree. I think that's what makes those relationships better. It's just,
it really does, is being able to go into that community.
Miss Sue, thank you very much. You sure don't have to do that. Thank you so much for that shout out.
Do you have any specific questions? I always forget to ask because you guys just blow our minds. Is there any specific questions, Miss Sue, that you have for us, or anything that you would like to know? Maybe something that we do? Feel free to let us know, and we'll definitely try to.
Matt and Sarah, what's going on?
Get that answered for you.
Miss Donna, I'm sorry if we missed some of y'all. Crazy that they are capping ticket sales. Yeah, I saw that.
25 minutes away. We knew it was like, it's like right in your backyard.
Yeah, I saw they were not going to sell at the door, and they were going to be a little bit more capped off this year. I'm hoping that we start seeing some of the community style picnics and organizational groups get back together.
Yeah.
I saw the one Heartland Homesteaders, which we're still a good bit from Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see more of that come back around. We were trying to hit Arkansas, and then that kind of fell away with them canceling theirs as well. So it is what it is. Hey, Miss Jennifer, how are you?
And like, even when we were talking about this community thing, like when we were in Destin, it was so cool just to be able to say, because we had met Hank and Gina at the Stivers get together, and just sweet people. We've been able to communicate with them some, learn about them on YouTube and stuff. So we were able to meet up with them and just be able to eat with them and catch up and just talk farm stuff. We talked all kinds of stuff, farm, family, value, just all kinds of stuff.
I think they were trying to kick us out of that restaurant, though. We stayed way too long, and our kids were getting a little stir crazy. So.
But we had such a good time with them, and that's like Grammy Karen said. I mean, that's, to us, that's kind of what it's all about. It's being able to sit down and talk to people and learn them and learn their family and what they do and what they like, and that's just always so much fun.
So the point of the video, we talked about it. It says now is the time. For us in Zone 8B, we are in pretty much full-on garden mode. Misty said we've got the lettuce and onions and potatoes going. We've got a lot of stuff in the greenhouse, which y'all have seen in some of the past videos. But we kind of start our big gardens probably in the next 2 weeks. So we're really going to be seeing that really kick off. We have a bee video coming up, and we don't do too many bee videos because they're probably not the most popular thing. But you'll see a little bee video coming up in the next day or so.
You did get the queen, though.
Yeah, I did see one of the queens.
That's always pretty cool.
Always fun. So you'll be able to see that, a little footage on that before we show a little of the house renovation too. So
Rehab Life said beautiful weather right now, expecting, except pollen has me sneezing a lot. Me and Aiden can totally feel you on that, because I went outside for just a little while today and sneezed my head off.
Hey, man, I'm seriously, when I say this, I need the pollen, because remember, we have bees, so we have 12 hives. So the last thing we need is not to have a chance for them to be eating. So
yeah. So that's always fun when you start kicking off that season and you get out and you just, for us, it was a lot of fun. Let's see, Saturday we went out and got in the sun, and that was really cool to just be able to soak up the sun after a long time of what felt like coldness. And the seasons, the seasons really do change here, like in an instant. It's not. I don't feel like it's slowly changing. It's like in an instant it changes here.
Yeah, we had snow on the ground the day that we were in short sleeve. After the winter storm we had, 2 days later we were in short sleeve and there was still snow on the ground. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like no sudden change here. I mean, it is a sudden change. I can't get my words out right. I need to stop reading.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're reading too much. Stuck in the city. What's going on? Alabama. That's right. We get 4 seasons. I don't even know if we get 4 seasons anymore.
4 seasons in a week. We get 4 seasons in 1 week.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's what they said. 4 seasons in a week. Totally feel you.
And there was a comment somebody said a while ago, what did y'all do about cold milk in the mornings when we were on vacation? Okay, let me tell you the story. So we ran out of milk, 3 days ago, 4 days ago?
Well, we
supplemented a little bit the week before, but
and then we were kind of drinking on it, and then we totally ran out. So we have not a drop.
We bought some organic milk, and it is like between Misty and the kids, all they do is just smell. They're like, I can't drink it. I can't drink it. So we have this milk that hardly nobody drinks, and I drink it for coffee, and that's about all we drink it for. So, but her bag is so big.
Allie, the milk cow.
Well, I hope that's what we're talking about here. Allie, the milk cow's bag is so big that she can't even hardly walk. She just like waddles everywhere. So if you know a Jersey cow, they do get big bags if you're familiar with cows, but she is ready to pop. You'll see us do a little stanchion training in this next video because, again, even though she's a great milk cow and has been a milk cow, we want to make sure she understands to go back in those habits again. So we put her back in the stanchion, so she is doing phenomenally well. So you'll see that tomorrow.
Grammy Karen's talking about her spinach, and I saw about the pollen flashing all over the place. I don't think we've gotten like layers of pollen on the cars yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Because we have big, huge yellow balls of pollen up in the pine trees. And yes, me and I would say the rest of y'all, it's not really that bad. But if Aiden or I walk out, it's like we instantly start sneezing.
Well, I see some people saying they're interested in bees. I hope you'll watch that video. It's just a fun little video. It's not much on the bees. We don't go in depth like we have in some of the past videos. They said, Big Dave said, there was no more, on the news today, there was no more frost for us here. I hope you're right for us too. We are pretty much past our frost date is mid-March for this year. So I'm hoping that we're kind of done because we need to get our big gardens going.
And we just transplanted a lot of strawberries, like a lot. And we still have more to go.
Yeah, we have too much.
If they will produce, we will be in really, really good standing with strawberries this year, which our family eats a lot of. But the problem is, in the past, they have just not produced really well. So I'm hoping that, kind of like our plum tree, it's taken years. I'm hoping that once these strawberries get really good and established, they will really start to produce strawberries for us.
So Ivy Acres said that they've not seen, have not started any seeds yet. We have started tons. Now, we start some that's completely devoted to seed starts. But then we start tons that are simply in the garden. So far, we got the chickens working the other side. You'll see a little video on it, but we've got, I think, about 5,000 square foot of the garden open and ready to go. The other 4,000 or 5,000 is underneath chickens and turkeys. So we'll move them, and they'll start that a little bit later in the season. So
our snow in Central Texas is usually pollen. A layer of yellow turns my blue Jeep green. That's usually what happens here as well, which is I was talking about the layers of pollen that you can see that's really just crazy. It's not gotten that way yet. Look, we have got a fan tonight.
I don't know what it is. They don't like us too much. That's a sad story. Don't get me wrong. The Needy Homesteader story is unbelievable, and you need to support them. But
so anyway, we usually have pollen like that as well.
So I'm seeing some people saying that they have already started their
there's a question. We missed a question.
Okay, so it says, first time for me to seed start inside. My tomato seedlings are leggy, about 3 inches tall, 2 leaves. 2 things, they're either not getting enough light. You need more light, or you buried them a little too high. So I would challenge you to put them under light, give them a little bit more light during the day. You can put them outside if you're warm enough. If not, just put them by a window. That doesn't help kind of build a little bit more topsoil around it, but that's why they're getting leggy. Most of the time, it's malnourished or needing more light.
Yeah, so we've had that happen to our broccoli. I want to say the first year that we had it indoors.
It became very like that.
It did.
Very much so like that.
And so sometimes that happens. If you have a place,
hey, Lazy C.
If you have a place inside that's close to a window, the closer to light you can get it will help some.
But we've never really had good luck with starting some seed starters like broccoli. It just seems to do better for us to plant directly. I know people say don't do that, but in our areas it is.
Yeah, area is a good thing. I mean, a thing you have to consider.
So tell us kind of what you're doing. Now's the time. So what are you planting right now? I see some of you said you started 200 seed starts. What seed starts are you starting?
It's going to be in the 80s all week. I'd put them outside.
Yep, definitely. Absolutely. That's plenty hot enough. Hey, no worries. No worries.
We're usually not cool enough for trolls, are we?
Yeah, I guess I might enjoy this if they give us some kind of time, huh?
Oh, gracious.
What's up, Keith? How are you, man? Kim started peppers. We're the same way. Peppers take forever here. So we started our peppers early this year. Heirloom permaculture, what's going on?
Yeah, ours have not sprouted yet, but I'm expecting those hopefully within the next few weeks. But I have to say our peppers did really, really, really well last year.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think every year we seem like we're always behind in gardening. I mean, there's one or two things we don't start on time. I mean, like last year was peppers. We got a ton of peppers, but we probably could have got a ton more if we just started them on time.
Yeah.
This year we've done pretty good, even though we've had a house renovation going on and all the stuff that we've gotten going on. Somehow we've been on top of it because our onions this year are looking phenomenal.
Yeah, they do.
And they really, really do.
A little bit too, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good.
Yep. So it's exciting. We're missing some comments. If you can scroll back down, so we can read those.
So peppers. We had a lot of people planting peppers. So
we actually gave some peppers. I started peppers, some herbs.
Hey, Miss Rebecca.
We actually gave some peppers to our chickens today, and they have been kind of a pain. They're still not laying at all, so it's really been a pain dealing with them this fall. But peppers, yes, we did give them some dehydrated peppers today in their food.
Jennifer says she started calendula, strawberries, eggplants, peppers, broccolis, cabbage, and sprouted a lot more. Peppers are already big too, so that's pretty good. I did see some people get a little too crazy, and they started their seed starts, and they're like zone, I think 5.
And now they're ready to go.
They're ready to go in the ground. They still have tons of time to go. So
better pot them in a plant.
You better do something bigger.
In a bigger pot.
So Stacy's kind of in our area. Stacy Wisharp. She said lots of tomatoes and peppers. We're the same way. We've got a lot of that going on.
The only thing I'm a little concerned that's going to grow faster than what we could probably get in the ground is the sunflowers, because they're already like yay tall. But some of my seeds, I might have to replant some of my sunflowers. I did save my seeds for my sunflowers, and I have about a fourth of them that have started coming up. So if I don't get more than that in the next few days, I am going to replant some of those. The only thing that's kind of a bummer when you have to replant is you have some that are bigger than the other ones, so it's like in the garden. But maybe that'll make it pretty. We have a really low wet area. I'm going to put a lot of those sunflowers, and a lot of those are going to be, we've kind of told y'all about our refocus of planting this year. Some sunflowers will be for us. Some will just be for decoration. Some are going to be to feed our animals. Some are going to be for the bees, and some are going to keep for seeds for next year. So.
Jennifer, that's cool that you live in Long Island, but still it's zone 7. That's pretty neat to be that warm still and to be able to start your stuff. Nadine said, help. Made your bread yesterday. Looked good until put in the oven. Bread fell and very heavy. What would you say? I would think it probably rose too much and then fell.
Yeah, if it fell, you might have let it rise and get too light, and then when you jarred it, it caved in, and then of course when it caved in, that's what made it heavy once you got it out.
Speaking from experience.
So yeah, speaking from experience, I've made a lot of bread with a lot of failure. Like yesterday, I pulled it out of the oven and I tapped on it, and there was so much going on. Y'all see the kind of craziness we've had over the past few weeks. Anyway, I got it out, put it on the stove, and was like, "Oh, it's good." Colby was like, "I don't know if that's done enough." I was like, "It's good. Just put it on the bread rack."
Now I like doughy bread,
and it's still a little doughy.
So. I love doughy bread, so I told her, I said, "Now this is probably gonna be my bread because I don't think y'all are gonna eat it." She's like, "I'll be fine," and it's a little.
Need
doughy.
to make more room under the light, and yes, that's a great idea. If you have a light or a grow light, they're fairly inexpensive. So if that's an option for you, if you could get a grow light, then that would of course help you get your seed starts inside. One of the things that's a little irritating is sometimes the soil will tend to want to attract bugs and stuff inside, which can kind of be a pain. So if you have a place like outside of your kitchen that you can do that within a window or a grow light, or maybe some people have basements, and we don't have basements in our area.
Not in Mississippi, you can't.
Oh, I saw somebody ask about my black eye. My black eye is gone. Thank y'all very much.
Somebody today, I think it was one of our newer subscribers. And they were like, "Why do you have a black eye?" Like they were really conscientious of. Was she trying to hide a black eye? So I laughed.
Jennings got me good. Didn't he?
He was like, I mean, he was really serious in that conversation. So I said, well, hopefully he don't call the law on us or something like that. So
it's finally gone.
Yeah. Big Dave said, how much feed will you need to feed all your animals? So our goal this year is to cut our feed bill in half with the chickens and pigs. So, and I'm challenging you guys. I know we always have fun and laugh and have a good time. But if you have a chance, start watching Adapt 2030 and Ice Age Farmer. Ice Age Farmer is actually a gardener and farmer and has animals. But to me, what I like is he talks about the importance of our grains, because our grains are going up. If you've noticed, if you went to Tractor Supply, if you go to a local co-op, your corn and soybean and wheat are going higher in price. It's because of the shortage this year. So that's why we're planting a lot of our own grains this year. So we're going to try to plant, Big Dave, our cows and sheep. I mean, they don't really need any kind of grain. The only time we feed alfalfa is when we're milking, and we buy that in bulk that lasts us a whole year. But when it comes to our grains, we're going to try to grow about an extra 10,000 square foot of corn and wheat this year, and soybeans. That's all on the opposite side of the lake where we have the sheep and pigs already. So we're going to try to do that this year and see if that will help with our feed bill. Really, the main thing is our pigs, probably more than our chickens, because again, you can allow chickens. If worse than worse, our permaculture mobile go behind the cows and be fine. But really, it's pigs more than anything.
Somebody was asking about the basement. I was trying to catch up while you were talking. The basement. The issues in South Mississippi is I think somebody's asking again, is moisture. It's very, very humid here. So
mold issues.
Mold, that's right. So if somebody has a basement here with all the moisture, it does tend to set up potential for mold, which you guys know is
here
unlivable.
In Mississippi,
you can't live in that.
Anybody that had a basement, a lot of our older antebellum homes in Mississippi has basements, and most of them either leak or have mold issues, and that's just because the ground. Like for instance, where we're at, if you notice all the rain that we get, and we always make
very humid.
It's very humid, and we hold water, so it's just a major issue in our area. Rehab Life, we enjoyed our little vacay. It was only literally like 3 days, but we just had a blast.
We really did.
I mean, it was just good to get away.
And to be honest with you, the water was absolutely freezing.
It was really cold.
It was so cold. But the kids, man, it didn't bother them. They were jumping in it. Every now and then they would get out and be like shivering. And one of the times, one of the girls ran up. She was like, "I'm just ready to go inside. I'm so cold." And then, like, literally in 5 minutes, she threw her towel down and was back out there swimming.
I love that people ask that about the basement thing. I think that's pretty cool.
So. Thank you so much again for that blanket. It is beautiful.
Oh, gosh, yeah. It was so nice.
Yes, most people that are not used to this humidity would die in this humidity because it is really bad.
Rehab Life said, my wife did ask if Misty had a black eye last week. So
yes, I did. Jennings gave me that.
So Little Mountain Life says, I listen to Ice Age Farmer sometimes. He's had some good ones. He's been spot on. I figure YouTube's supposed to kick him off anyway. So you might want to find him on BitChute or Telegram or something like that. But I actually like Ice Age Farmer. He's way bigger than us, but you can give him a shameless plug. Tell him the Max sent you. But he seems like a really nice guy.
I'm gonna go get the happy.
That's fine. Rehab Life, soybeans. Yes, soybeans is one of the biggest crops that Mississippi push out to in the Delta. Mississippi is not. It's more of definitely more of a wood or pine state. We have a lot of wood and lumber, and we're a lumber state. But soybeans tends to grow really good in our area, in our climate. We have a long growing season,
it's a staple here. Really.
It's a staple. It is.
So Miss Kim is on our chat. This was one of Baby Livy's happies that she handmade, and I just have to show y'all how beautiful.
Oh, it's so nice.
It is so pretty. There's a little bee over here. This camera is not good. I think I'm gonna get too much light. Oh, there you go. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
See the bee, and there's a flower on this one. Just so much effort and time, and that just means so much to us.
Yeah.
When we get mail from you guys, several people have sent us things in the mail, and it really just means so much to us.
It really does. So. That really touches us. It makes us feel so special.
And really little Livy has been fighting her sleep terribly. I used to would make her pallets down on the floor and put her down on the floor, and she would just lay there and suck her little pappy and hold her blankets and go to sleep. So I love blankets like that to put down on the floor and to put her on. And she was a little stickler. She just wouldn't go down on the floor. She wouldn't get in her swing. She didn't want to be rocked.
She acted like her other kids.
I was like, sister, if you're sleepy, you better go to sleep. You better go to sleep. But she was fighting it today.
Yeah, our water table is high, Keith. We hit water. When we dug our well, we hit water at 12 foot. Now, of course, we went to 120 foot, but we were hitting water at 12 foot for a true water table stable there.
But our homestead
is even lower.
Sits in a low area anyway. So
the other channel I mentioned, Ice Age Farmer, is definitely the one I watch a lot. If you're into nerdy farming math,
Colby is a nerd.
I am a nerd. Adapt 2030 is a good one. He talks about a lot of the stuff like the Grand Solar Minimum and things like that deals with the way the Farmer's Almanac is done. The reports from the USDA, things like that. So, hey, Susan, how are you?
Babies do have a mind of their own. She is typically a very, very good baby, probably one of our best of the 6, with just being content and whatnot. But today she was a little fussy.
Yeah, Donna, I think Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, we all kind of have that same humidity. I was literally upstairs tonight doing some painting in the renovation, and I came down and I looked like I just took a shower. And it's just because it got warm today, and our humidity makes our warmness feel like it's just burning slap up. So
heading to Southeast Indiana to take a second look at some land. Cross your fingers. That is really awesome. I sure hope it works out for you, Miss Kim.
Great question. Stuck in the city. Have y'all ever grown any forage crops for cows? That's something I'm interested in. Goats and sheep. Yes. All right. So what we do, if you go back to some of our old rotational grazing videos, we plant a deer forage mix or a wildlife mix. Let me go back and say a wildlife mix in a few of our paddocks. In that wildlife mix, we have turnips, radish, oats, hard wheat, rye. Oh, gosh, let's see. Rape, mustards, a few more things. Oats, regular oats. So we do that as a mix. It goes in with a clover and a rye anyway. It does really well in the cool crops. So for us, we do a wild mix. Now, we have done a lot more grasses in most of our newer paddocks, but those grasses are mixed with a lot more forage, such as orchard, clover, red clover, white clover, Bahia, Bermuda. So we're trying to do more than just be one-dimensional, because a cow, it's like us. If we eat the same thing all the time, it's not really good for us. So instead of just growing just Bahia or just the cover crops, we've been really incorporating different mix and different forages. That's a very good question.
Speaking of, Allie is so close, and we have been expecting Daisy to have her baby or babies for like ever. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna give up on this girl.
I give up.
Now, seriously, when we moved her
I thought she wouldn't make it
across the walkway, I was like, we're just gonna put her into labor, but she still not had that baby on. And I'm like, I don't know if she can get much bigger. I really don't. But Clarabelle is still doing really good. Clarabelle's beautiful.
The little baby,
so pretty.
The Clarabelle, she's gotten where now she hops on the hay bale. So she'll hop on the hay bale and then hop around, and she does that little bounce that goats and sheep do.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was funny because I remember watching this one of the Stivers videos, and their little goats was just jumping around everywhere, and that's just the cutest ever.
Let's see. Bagel Egg says, can you plant your vegetables in straight compost of leaves, sticks, etc., about a year old? Yes.
There's like nothing, a hugelkultur bed, really.
That's truly, you're truly using it as compost. I'd make sure it's broken down. If not, you may have too much carbon. But there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, all my onions, all the potatoes are planted in straight compost. A lot of your root vegetables do better in compost than they do in bulk topsoil or in raw ground soil.
Yep.
Great question.
We did a hugelkultur style two. Actually, we have two that are basically the entire bottoms were nothing but just built up cross sticks, basically, with compost in between them. And they always grow the best. That's where we got the most peppers from. We got the most. What was in there before that? Last year it was peppers. I don't remember what was in there the year before. But those beds have always the lettuces,
all that
have always done so well on those beds. So
yes, let's see. There was one more question that somebody said. Y'all palpate and check for the calf. Yes, we actually palpated Allie back.
I can't remember. Gosh. It's been about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, so when we palpated her day showed her timetable put her about March 12th to March 15th for the delivery.
Like any day now.
And so far we've been spot on with our cows. And we might miss this one completely. We've missed the sheep completely. But so far cows have been on.
Colby, I was like, she is way younger than Minnie and than Daisy. I keep getting them too confused.
Change their name. Just change them.
Listen, okay, so we have 2 sheep that are white, but one has a big black spot on her back, and her name is Daisy. And the other one's name is Minnie. And I'm like, y'all mixed them up. The one with the black spot should be Minnie. So I still, to this day, my brain is wired the wrong way. But anyway, she is a lot younger than Minnie. Daisy is a lot younger than Minnie.
Do you have their names right?
Yes, I got them right that time. I have to really think about it, though.
Yeah, heirloom. We've gotten to where now, if they're that big and we know where they're at, you can bump them. But other than that, you got to palpate to make sure you know where they're at.
The meat birds right now, I would say, are probably a pound.
There's some that's probably 1.5 pounds, but most of them are a pound. They probably got a good 4 to 5 weeks left to go. We've lost a few more this year than we've lost ever, but we've had more birds this year than we've had ever. So that's normal. We're still kind of on the percentage.
Actually, the people that went in with us lost the same amount as we've lost, and we had 75 and they had 25. So, but it's just one of those things where it's just, it is what it is. You're gonna lose some. It's just what it is.
All right. So Keith and Matt and Sarah had a great idea. Let's just spray paint the dot on Daisy white, cover her back up, and then still put a black dot on me. How about that? We'll put one on each side, and that way it looks like Minnie Mouse ears.
Well, that's where my brain was going. Is because Minnie is the one with the black head, and she's the one the other one is the one that's got the black dot. So
yes, compost can be without manure. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, manure is just an extra additive if you choose to put it in there. If you choose to put manure, make sure it's if it's a hot manure, you need to mix it in. If it's cold manure, you're fine. Hey, Walker Farm fam. Personally, I'm gonna be straight honest. Cow manure and chicken manure.
How are you?
There's nothing wrong with putting them in your garden. Just don't put them right on your stuff because they will burn it being hot manure. So there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Just be careful when you use hot manure.
Oh, no. So your bed did great until a storm came. That's a bummer.
We had some loss last year like that.
Yeah. Actually, your parents' whole fence got tore down from some storms last year, which was not good.
Donna, congratulations on getting your chickens on April 2nd. Welcome to it. You'll have goats, sheep, and cows in just about a year.
Actually, so if y'all seen our blessed video, our seed blessing video, we sent one out. Well, we had intentions when we do that. We were going to send one out, and we said, you know what? We can't just let this stop with one. We're going to go to different regions and reach out to different regions and hope that so many people can be blessed through this effort. So all three of our guys are on here. I say guys, all three of our families are on here. So thank y'all for popping on tonight. We appreciate that. Hope you enjoy your happies that come in the mail.
Rip, my favorite tomatoes by far are Cherokee purples for sure. The only thing about Cherokee purple, they're my favorite, but they're also every bug's favorite because they tend to have more bugs on them. Mm-hmm. So just watch them. But we usually grow a Better Boy variety in Cherokee purples. That's my two favorite for South Mississippi and two favorite to eat. I like a slicing tomato. I don't like the little ones. I have no purpose for those for me. Misty sauced all of ours last year. We had a variety that we got from Baker Creek or somewhere, the little yellow ones, not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, they're yellow and they put off like crazy.
They were supposed to be like this, and they ended up being the teardrop yellows. I know y'all know what they're called.
If somebody knows what they're called.
Oh my gosh, we had so many of those.
They put off like crazy.
And see, I like a slicing tomato that's just gentle taste, not really acidic, and just is not a hard, crusty tomato on the outside. To me, the little tomatoes just don't do well. Like grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, I don't like them.
Stacey, we do not have the incubator going yet. If I have to see or deal with another chick or chicken, I think I might lose my mind right now.
Oh my gosh.
I think we are just totally chickened out right now.
They look like the yellow pears. You're right, guys.
Yeah. And they produce like crazy. So I usually always use those as a mix in with my when I do spaghetti sauce. So Cherokees failed last year. Got a cold snap.
Just thinking about Cherokee purples. Misty made some lima beans tonight. I was thinking, man, it would have been so good
with a tomato,
with a big tomato laying right there with it. Do y'all eat tomatoes with your lima beans? Oh my gosh, it will change. You will be more spiritual.
Or is it a Southern thing? Is it a Southern thing to mix peas and tomatoes?
Oh my gosh, and you get real crazy. Put a little extra salt and pepper on there.
All right, Miss Kathy, you're from up north. Do you mix your tomatoes in with your peas when you eat them?
It's got to be lima beans. Or butter beans.
You mix them in with.
I mix them with everything because I like tomatoes, but I could eat a tomato every meal.
Donna said her Cherokee purples did fabulous last year.
Miss Sue said, never tried that. I'm from the north.
Tomato with everything.
Hate lima beans. How do you hate lima beans? Oh my gosh.
We had them tonight. They're good.
We love them.
Well, are you cooking them right? Are you putting your bacon grease in there?
Yeah, we make them real healthy.
We're from the South. We put bacon grease in everything.
Oh gosh.
No to lima beans, way too dry.
They said Miss Sue says we stopped eating them because of arthritis. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna probably be where I can't walk because I love tomatoes. All right, at least I feel some people saying they like lima beans. So a texture. Oh my gosh, to me, lima beans and lady peas.
I was gonna say lady peas are the top. If y'all are not familiar with those, is that the
lady
Southern name?
Cream peas?
Is that the Southern name we gave to them?
Lady cream peas. If you can grow lady cream peas, you need to do it. They're
she
the
said
best
even
thing.
Bacon grease can lima beans.
Bacon helps everything, Kim. Come on.
Bacon's the way to go. Gotta have the bacon grease. Yeah, we keep all.
Okay, wait. Grease. Okay, so Simply Jan, you're saying I'm growing limas for the first time. You're gonna hate llamas after you pick them because they are the hardest being to deal with and pick and make sure and then you got to make sure they're ready. You hold them up to the light and the sun, so you'll probably hate them picking them, but they're phenomenal. So, oh, Big Dave made Mexican cornbread for supper. That
she said, "I
yummy.
agree, just not with llamas."
You know, as a kid, I hated lima beans, but now I absolutely I got to love them even when I was a younger kid. But Aiden can eat pounds of them. He can sit there and just eat them.
Hey, Miss Vera.
Lady finger peas is what they said they call. We keep
our bacon grease too. And what is even cooler is our bacon from our pigs, and we keep their grease too. So that just goes to show you that there are so many aspects to an animal. Just like we were talking about when we butcher our chickens, even down to we use everything: the blood, the feathers, the feet, the innards. I mean, everything. Even after we cook the bird and eat it, I use the bones to make bone broth. And then I use, because the bones are super soft at that point because they've been cooked out for so long, then I use those bones for dog food. So it's like everything gets used. It's just amazing. Man. So a few Southern people said, a few Northern people said that they do eat their tomatoes with their peas.
All right, so Kim says, how long does it take the feathers to compost?
Well, it really depends on
how much you have there.
How much you have, how much compost you have, and the temperature you get it. Typically, the warmer it is, the more it will break down. We don't do the temperature check and all that because we have a mountain and we just keep it turned. And
I'm gonna be very scientific when it comes to compost. I literally go over there, roll it over. If it looks brown and looks like composted topsoil, we use it. So if it's still got big chunks of stuff in there, I turn it again. So
where do y'all get y'all's pigs butchered?
We actually did. Well, we've used a butcher that
we have a local place that we use to basically. We did have them do the full pigs on several. We also had them to dispatch these last ones and cut them up.
Well, no, we'll cut one up.
Half them for us. And then Colby did the rest.
So we butchered our own this last time. I broke it down, excuse me. Hey, kitchen first, then dining room.
So, we do have a local place that will do that for us. We're hoping that by this year we will be able to completely, from start to finish, do the whole process.
Well, we can now, because what we were hoping for, after we butchered this last time, we realized we were skipping the scalding. The scalding was the big thing that we had to have the butcher for because we didn't have a scalding vat big enough. We didn't even have a bucket big enough.
But we realized in doing our own cuts that we don't really want the skin anyway.
So we're
especially
on the
bacon.
Like a deer.
So I think these next ones we're just gonna skin them out, and that's gonna work out better. I just hope he has a helper.
Her.
No, and seriously.
Our bacon and pork chops
is way better.
It's way better.
It's way better.
It really is. The only thing
we're trying to so much better cutting than the people that we took to.
The only thing that I'm still struggling with is to make my sausage taste. I feel like I'm missing something. It's okay, but I feel like it's missing something.
It is good, but I guess we're comparing it to the best that we've ever had.
Right.
Which that I will say on their sausage, it is the best we have ever had. But on the pork chops, the bacon cuts.
Hey, fancy farmer.
A lot of those things, Colby did way better.
Thank you, sweetheart. It's very sweet.
Actually, sage is in there. It's my sage. That's one of the reasons why in the greenhouse I planted a buttload. Do y'all say buttload? I planted a buttload of sage this year, specifically for, we know we have at least one of our American guinea hogs is going to go down this year, and I want to use our own sage for that sausage.
Hey, Rip, yes, I have a video on the pig butcher, and I linked the knives the two knives I use in that video, those knives, not those brands, but those style knives are worth their weight in gold. If you didn't have that,
The
there's
only
no way
thing
you're gonna be
you
a
were
butcher.
not really happy with was the saw.
Was the saw. If I could go back, I'd have bought I would literally buy a 16-inch saw. To me, I had a big enough hog to where my 12-inch just wouldn't make it all the way through the hams or wouldn't get through my bacon like I wanted to. And I know we're getting deep in that, but I would go with the big saw. But you can look at that video, and I got the links to those knives. Those knives, the breaking knives, they're called a breaking knife and a paring knife. Both of those, I mean, you look at them and they'll cut you. They're just that sharp.
Miss Kathy, I don't think so, but we would love that. If you will get with me on that, we would really appreciate that breakfast sausage recipe. That would be great.
Yeah, because the breakfast sausage we're making now, like I said, it's good, but it's just
we're comparing it to like the best.
We're missing something.
Best we've ever had.
And see, this time I put nutmeg. Gosh, we're getting way off subject here. This time I put nutmeg and marjoram in it, and that helped, but it's still missing something. So, if you got a good sausage recipe?
Yes, y'all send it because we have a lot more that we have to break down and use. Hey,
and we're gonna be doing some wet curing of bacon this next time. We dry cured this last time, and that was a great video. Great bacon. It's a saltier bacon, but I'm gonna try.
Bacon was really good, but I usually would eat mine like when we do put time in it, Mr. Go in and fry up some eggs. I like to get my bacon crispy and then crumble it up in my eggs. Am I the only weird person that does that? I grew up doing that. I would crumble up my bacon in my eggs and like eat them together. Hey, I'm anxious, and see, we also I saw Kim mention a sheep lamb sheep meat. We'll be processing one. We are out of milk. So zero milk. And Allie's bag is like this big, y'all. When I drove by her earlier, I started laughing. I might have to do a C-section. I do a C-section. I started laughing because I told Colby, I was like, she cannot even walk. Her bag is so big. So it's like any day now. And I'm glad because we are out of milk and we're ready for some fresh milk. Yes, we need it. That's not weird. It's delicious. Yes, it really is. See? Love crumbled bacon, not floppy bacon. See, I like floppy bacon. I'm not a big fan of floppy bacon either. So Aiden is Misty Jr. So everything Misty likes, Aiden likes. So both of them want like burnt steaks, burnt bacon, burnt burgers. It's like everything becomes jerky. That's what they like. But if the world comes to an end and we live off dehydrated meat, Misty would be okay. Because everything she eats is literally tough and rough. Floppy bacon rules. Yeah, I can't. But see, to where you can like everything I eat is almost piece of fat off of the steak. He just like puts it in his mouth and she's like, ugh. Yeah, I cannot do it. It will make me gag. I will have to excuse myself from the table and go to the bathroom and get it out of my mouth because I cannot do fat. I don't do fat. Hey, morning, Wood Farms. So anyway, yeah. So that's why I can't. Thank you, Little Mountain Life. Floppy bacon. But see, I'm the same way with bread, with steaks, with hamburgers. I don't want anything that's fully done. The only thing I want done, of course, is chicken. But I mean, other than that, I want stuff that's just barely done, if not a little not done. I don't want it moving. I don't want it clucking. I don't want it red, pink, bloody. I'm not eating any rare chicken. I'll be in the hospital. You better quit eating those rare hamburgers too. No, I like rare hamburgers. I really do. And see, my eggs are the same way. When we scramble eggs, I don't even let them do it anymore because Misty makes fun of me now. So she'll throw one in there. She's like, "All right, is it ready to pull up now?" Being very facetious. But I like mine very, very, very underdone. Yeah, and we don't do that. Done is hot enough to kill the bugs. Yeah. I might have to be a vegetarian. Now, I will say this about the fat that we have on our animals. The pig fat that we have, like that you cut your pork chop or you cut your bacon and you eat the fat off that meat, it is so clean and pure tasting and not rubbery at all. So to me, it almost melts in your mouth. You can't even taste it. But compare that to like a Walmart pork chop. No offense to Walmart. It's rubbery and I have to cut it off too. But I like our
fat on our animals, I can
Miss
deal with.
Rebecca said scrambled eggs must be dry. Totally agree there.
Gosh, you might as well pour them out. They're terrible.
Totally agree there. I cannot eat mine slimy. They're
I
slimy.
I want mine rolling around in the pan still. Oh goodness. Jackie said, my dad said, turn it over and it's done. I don't even I can eat an over easy egg or a fried egg, but we like them scrambled. I want them scrambled easy or just light.
Walk it by the grill.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, that's a negative.
Morningwood Farm says, off subject, but how are the fruit flies doing, Misty? Have you checked it since you put the
I did. I got 0. Such a bummer. But I will say this.
Thanks,
because we were gone and my soul dried out, when I went back in there, I didn't see any. So, and I know that, but it's like, really, it's a catch-22 because you want your soil to be moist enough that the shells of the seeds can break down and your young plant can come out. But you don't want it so moist that it sets up the stage for things like gnats and stuff like that. But the soil was completely dry when we got back. I had no issues. I had been watering several days in a row, so I'll probably not water for several more days.
In the morning.
Yes.
Which makes a huge difference.
Yes, I have been watering in the morning. I have been doing a lot better.
Hey, Miss Margie. Yeah, like my bacon, I want to roll it. I want to be able to roll it up. It don't break. So
almost burnt.
Rehab Life said I would get fat at his house and you would starve.
Apple cider vinegar. We'll see. Kombucha is a lot like apple cider vinegar, and that's what I used with dish soap, but none of them went in whatsoever. But
I agree, Miss Kim.
But I think I have the problem solved. I just need to make sure that my soil is not getting too wet. And I did see a lot of little flies in our strawberries, so I might have to. And I sprinkled DE everywhere, all over that soil, so I think that helps too.
We mixed it in as well.
Yes, I just didn't remember this last time when I was seeding everything, but I do need to get some of that on the strawberries too.
Karen said they watched. They are starting to keep all their seeds moist after watching our video. Awesome, very good job.
Yes, it is important to keep your seeds especially when you plant them. You want the soil to stay moist, not too wet, but moist, because that seed coat needs to be able to break open, and your young plant will come out when the seed is moist.
I have to say, on the
I don't
bacon,
know if vinegar is a weed killer.
It can be. You can use it and spray it, and it could be almost like what a Roundup could be if you want to use it that way. On the bacon, though, back to the bacon. Our bacon, it's to me, I've never made bacon. So when we made our bacon and didn't cure it with any kind of cured it the traditional way, taking time and days, actually a week and a half. To me, it's just the quality of it. You can taste every piece of meat in it. Now, of course, ours is salty, so I'm gonna probably back the salt off.
Back to bacon, she said.
But I know, back to bacon.
Everybody loves bacon.
Everybody loves bacon. But to me, bacon, pork belly has so many pieces of fat and meat going into it, so it gives you a different flavor pattern. And I just think the bacon can be done so right, and then bacon can be just like short order, fried up and throw it.
Freedom Homestead.
It tastes like a salty piece of meat. But
he said, "I heard bacon." That is funny.
Freedom Homestead, what's going on?
All right, Miss Rebecca said she eats. I don't even know what that is. Instead of drinking kombucha, but she doesn't like anything sweet.
That is a fermented cabbage. Am I right? Make sure I'm right, Miss Rebecca.
That's a new one for me.
You northern folks and your fermentations.
Hey, that's a good thing.
It is. We actually tried. We talked about. We were like, we're gonna do more fermenting of vegetables, and then I was like, nobody would eat them. We don't. Like I don't even like sauerkraut. I love
everything is better with bacon. I have to agree there. Everything is better with bacon.
It is better, right?
Especially when it's homegrown.
True.
Thank you for stealing my kombucha.
Did you steal our kombucha?
I had a cup, and Sayla just finished drinking it.
think I missed a question. I'm trying to go back and see it.
Well, we're getting close to time.
Yes, we are. So I guess we could say
process their pigs in May. That is awesome. We will have one for sure, we know, this year. And we are looking for some more fast growers and breeders for that, because we've told you guys before, we want to not have to constantly be dependent on somebody else to buy. So
our American guinea hog are doing great, but we tend to make more. To be honest with you, we can make more money on them selling them as piglets instead of trying to slow grow them up to be pork.
Yeah.
Our fast growers tend to do better for us, so we're gonna have 2 sets of pigs growing for
Thank you,
the
Big
reason
Dave.
of selling.
Oh,
so.
I read your comment about the pigs. Yes, we'll let you know. It'll probably be late this year, but we got to get it done.
Kim, I like the IBPs. I think I'm gonna go with more of a long snout pig, kind of like the Yorkshire, Berkshires, Herefords. One of those, like we
were
had.
really happy with them.
We were very happy with those.
They're
crazy.
They're just busy. They're hyper. They're like kids with attention disorders.
But it's the same thing. It reminds you of a heritage breed laying chicken versus the Cornish cross. The Cornish cross are just like, I've got to eat all the time. I've got to run around and eat all the time. And it's the same thing with the pink pigs we had, which were Yorkshires. They grew so fast, but they were perfect. So we're going to try to grow them this year. Whereas last year we bought them as just meat, and the American guinea hog was our grower. This time we're going to do both. So we're excited about it.
Has the video gone out with where we, I know we released the one where we put them to teal. Have we showed them what they've done yet?
No, that'll be on the weekend video.
Oh, they have done a great job.
I know y'all get sick.
Wait till y'all see what they've done.
I know y'all are saturated with the Max, but we just have so much content, so that's why we're pushing it out.
Yep. Wait till y'all see what our American guinea hogs have done in that area. They've done a great job. So excited to get some stuff planted over there that will be food for animals, not specifically for us, but they tilled it up for us, and it's been amazing. And we're actually going to be doing a speaking engagement at a local place here in town. And we're going to be teaching a lot about what we do here on the farm and about how we grow things that's so much different than your typical commercial. Put a tiller on it, throw some fertilizer on it, and put your seed in there. And, we do things so much different here. And we're very excited to go and share about our tart methods and how we use our animals to till, our animals to fertilize, how we use organic fertilizers, how we use organic, natural weed controls. I mean, it's very exciting.
If y'all, I might have it in a video too, but if you follow us on Facebook, I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison where our field is in the back. Prime example. Where our field is, where our driveway comes in. And y'all know where our entrance is behind the lake. Kind of where the bees are, the sheep are.
It's where we've rotated the sheep several times before.
There's a field right next to us. It literally, my fence goes between them. They fertilize. They spray. And have no animals on it. Right. So it's a true hay field that they fertilize with triple 13 lime it, do all the works, everything that you would typically do as a conventional farm. And no offense to them, I mean, I'm just saying this is what we do compared to ours, which we don't fertilize.
Taller, greener,
and we rotate animals on.
Lusher.
It is unbelievable the difference. Where theirs is yellow. It's unbelievable. They have yellow and they have a little bit of green coming up, some wild onions coming up.
Ours is almost fully green.
Ours is lush. So to show you the difference and how we're trying to make our fields be like that everywhere.
We've only had sheep on it, 1 year?
On that section, only 1 year. 1 year.
Goes to show you the difference.
So where our cows are, where the dairy extension is. You can see a definitive
line of greenness versus.
And some of our old paddocks are the same way. And
they were cut the same exact time.
Actually, our sheep rotated theirs. They cut them at the same time, and then our sheep rotated one more time, a third cutting.
It's amazing.
Our grass is double theirs and lush and green.
So I know Freedom Homestead has been to Joel Salatin's place, Polyface Farms, and you walk on, because he's been doing this for years. So when you walk on his grass, it's like,
oh my gosh, you're not even touching the ground.
It's like walking on. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it is amazing. And now we we understand, because just our years, just there of what we've been doing, it's totally, I mean, you can see a definitive line. It'll blow your mind.
And I laugh because our old fields, our old paddocks, like our dairy paddocks and all that, we can rotate the cows out of there, and we already got grass coming back up like in 2 days. And so these new fields, if you notice, our new fields have a lot of dirt patches. And all I hear from all these people all the time, that our local conventional farmers, why are you not tilling it up, putting chemical all over it, and you're gonna have better grass next year? I said, look, we're slowly growing the ground like it's supposed to be. We're slowly making it where it's going to be, and our fields will be so much better. It might not look good the
first year or two, but eventually our fields will blow them out of the water. But it takes time to prep it right and do the ground like it's supposed to be done right, and then we won't have to come and do what they do every single year. We won't have to do that. We just have to slowly get there.
We went to an hour. I got excited about grass. I'm sorry. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I hope that you are planning.
Miss Kim said her neighbors would not like we were talking about sheep and stuff. She said her neighbors wouldn't like that very much.
Hey, go with it. Who cares? Who cares?
You have an automatic lawnmower.
That's right. So again, thank y'all for watching. I know we are posting pretty much daily now. Our goal is we do want to grow our channel. We're about at 7,000, and we'd love to see us to get to about 12,000 by the year end. It's always because of y'all.
Always because
that's right. So
we appreciate it.
We enjoy you watching our family. So thank y'all so very much. You'll have a video coming out tomorrow on substantiation training and some bees. And a little other innovation, and then Misty's got a good video for the weekend, and then again you'll see where the pigs have tilled up our new spots for gardens. So
and hopefully we'll have a baby calf soon, and maybe a baby lamb.
We need a calf because we need some milk.
Yes, we do.
God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.